Three, two, one, and we are live here on Facebook. Greetings, everyone. And it's Wednesday at noon, and I'm live today with a very special guest, Marian Esanu. And he is someone who I'm going to introduce in a couple of different ways. What we're going to talk about today, our topic for today is acquiring high-end clients or consultations. And Marian is someone who is kind of a rock star at doing this. And one of his claims to fame, I've seen a photographic proof of this, is that he actually is a member of this very exclusive club on ClickFunnels called the 7 Comma Club. And I'm going to get him to tell how exactly he did that. But just say hello, Marian, and welcome to the show.
Hey, Brad. Thanks a lot, first of all, for having me. I'm super excited about this interview. And I'm happy to share, anything that you want, of course, with the audience. And just a side note in there is the 2 Comma Club. So essentially, for everybody that's not familiar with what that club means or like what it is exactly. So the moment you have one of your sales funnel cross $1 million in sales, you are able to kind of join the group, and you can make it happen in multiple ways. It can be to mainly one-on-one calls and do the sales over the phone, as long as you get the leads to the platform. So use it in a way that actually creates leads or creates sales. So regardless what's the process that you do that, that's pretty much what it is.
Cool. So let's just break down the story for me on how did that even happen? Like you were joining the club, or you were working on ClickFunnels and you were building a funnel to get people to come and work with you in one way or another, and somehow it worked like really, really well. And so, like, give me a little bit of backstory of sort of how, what did you do that distinguished yourself from sort of a lot of the other people who are trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not necessarily a secret. The reason that I want to mention a couple of things is like the platform will not do the work for you, or the platform will not necessarily implement stuff for you. So at the end of the day, it all comes up to like what's the offer that you're going to put together, and what's the sales process that is going to generate the sales for you, right? So, for example, if someone wants to sell anything from $100 to like $300, you have one sales process, right? If you want to sell something that is $300 to $1,000, you're gonna have another sales process. Sales process meaning what? Are people going to just click a button and pay? Are people going to watch an online class and then they'll pay? Are people going to talk to you over the phone and then you enroll them into a program, or anything around that matter? So it's not necessarily like the ClickFunnels itself as a platform. Like, it's awesome, it's great, I recommend it to all my clients, but will not do the work for you. Like, they'll not be able to. You can't just say, all right, I have no product, I'm just gonna jump in and I'm gonna run some ads, and all of a sudden, boom, it's gonna explode, right? Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, a lot of people, and I see that in different groups, they just think that it's going to be magic. So yes, I mean, it helps a lot, and it's powerful because you can have all under one umbrella, under one roof, like your courses, your application funnels, everything, like processing payments, adding upsells, downsells, all that stuff. It's cool, but first you need to take a step backward and understand, okay, what am I selling? Like, what it is that you're selling, and what's the more important thing is like, what's the offer for that, right? Offer meaning, don't just think about the price, like don't just think about the investment that your customer has to make. Think about what it is, like what kind of bonuses you can add to that for people to say, oh, like that's a steal, I want that, right? And then based on that, then you just reverse engineer the whole sales process. Like, if you have let's say a $2,000 worth of product or service, and you can sell that, and you've proven that it's been working in terms of you bringing results to your customers. Doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter what you do. as long as you can bring results and that product or service has been proven to convert, then from there is all right. Let's see like what's the best way to sell that product, right? So if it's a $2,000 product, most likely you'll be better off selling it over the phone. And the way to do that is number one, you're gonna need a closer. You either gonna become one yourself, closer meaning close the sale over the phone. But it's important how people find out about that. Like, do you have a case study? Do you have an online workshop that's going to happen? Do you have any kind of videos that people can watch? And then they'll say, oh, like, I want that to happen. Let me convert that into a phone call. So then over the phone, you just basically that it just becomes a natural thing for you to enroll the clients into your programs, services, or coaching, whatever you have to offer.
Right. Okay. So let's just that's cool.
Can you
And
still hear me?
yes, I can absolutely hear you. And what I was going to say is when we're looking at
Close for a couple.
when we are closing, I can hear you just fine, Marian. And
Yeah,
so what I was going to say is we're talking about going after the type of client who would be worth at least $2,000. And so relatively and above, so relatively high end. And what I'm hearing from you is that one of the things that we need to think about is how are we going to actually close with them? And of course, at that level, the best way to do that is actually to get them onto a call. So we know where we're going to bring the person to, which is going to be a one-on-one strategy session or phone call with them where we can talk to them. So how do we take somebody who's never heard of us before, never doesn't know anything about us or our product, and bring them along sort of the steps to where when they actually get on a call with us, they're warmed up, they're excited, and they're very likely to say, yes, of course I want to come and work with you. Break that down and
sure.
take us through the steps.
Of course, yeah. So my favorite way to do it is this process. So number one, the moment that we know that the service, product, or whatever coaching package that it is that we have solves a big life or business problem. So when I say that, meaning, are you a fitness coach? Are you a health coach? Are you a business coach? Like, doesn't matter, uh, it has to be a pretty decent problem that you solve if it's in somebody's life or in somebody's business, right? The moment we have that nailed down, because we know what's the problem, we have people that are searching for that result. So we have to understand that we need to know where to look for those things, right? So there, of course, there are a couple of tools, there are a couple of things tech-wise that we can talk about later, but essentially YouTube is the best way to do this because people are going on YouTube when they have a problem and they need a result. Now, we need to understand that us as consumers, me, you, everybody that's listening or watching, when people go on YouTube, you're not necessarily looking to buy something. You're looking to just get a result, to get your problem to be solved during a 15 or 10 minute, I would say between 5 and 15 minute video. So the first step would be reverse engineer what's the problem that you're solving and put together a video with it. Straight to the point. The video should be, in this video, I'm going to break down 5 ways that you can. So let's say in this scenario, I would do a video. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 ways that you can get more clients in the next 10 days, right? So that would be a video on my end. You, because I know you do consultations on live video, 5 ways that you can improve your engagement with live video, or 5 ways to grow your business with live video. So people will go on YouTube, search for how to use live video or how to grow my business with live, like whatever. First, you can do the research before you create the video. You do the research and see how many searches a month does that topic get.
Right?
And then you create the video. You don't just create the video and shoot in the dark and hope for the best. You do the research and you understand how many, and you can use a tool that I love. It's called Keywords Everywhere.
All right.
A lot of people can probably use that. It's a free Google Chrome extension, so you can just install it on your computer, and then go on YouTube. And the moment you type the phrase, Keywords Everywhere will tell you how many searches, how many people are searching per month. And this is more based on the paid traffic. So people that are actually bidding on those keywords, both
Yep.
YouTube and Google.
Yep.
So that's one tool that I always recommend people that can, that want to do this, right? So then you create a video. Now, a very good idea would be for you to go and kind of hack what other people are doing. So type that thing, go on YouTube and hit enter and see what ads show up. Most likely, at first, you're going to see the first search. It's usually an ad. People that are actually, bidding on those keywords with a video, and that's called a discovery ad. It's not necessarily people, but it's just first in the searches on YouTube. I'm talking just about YouTube right now. And then the rest of the videos are mainly organic that just rank right there. Now, it's important to understand there are two types of ads on YouTube, at least the most important one. So it's discovery, where you just rank your video in the first searches, or you rank it in suggested, and that's with paid ads. And then second, and this is the most important when you want to get sales, they're called in-stream ads. So the moment somebody watches a video, you can bid on those keywords to put your own video in front of that. And a lot of people will say, yeah, but I hate those ads. I strongly think that you don't hate those. You just hate people that don't know how to bid on those videos. Because if you actually search for something and I do a video on those keywords that you are searching for, you will not hate that. Like if you search for how to grow my business and I do a video about how to grow your business, you're not going to hate that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just value built. So you do that, let's say it's a 5-minute video, let's assume, and you actually go straight to the point, like no long intros, like nobody cares who you are yet, nobody cares about fancy B-roll and all that stuff. Go straight to the point. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can X, Y, and Z, whatever the problem it is that the listeners or people that are watching are actually solving for their clients. Now, it can be, let's take a fitness coach. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can lose 20 pounds in the next, 3 months. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can improve your diet without spending hours on cooking. Like whatever, like it has to be a pretty good headline, and you have to hook people in the first 3 seconds. If you don't, people will just hit the skip button and then you're out. Now, skip button, it's not necessarily a bad thing because people can skip it and you not get charged for that. And the branding is still there. People will still see your face. Okay, so we do the 5-minute video, value building all together. It says no pitch at all. And then at the end of that 5 minutes, and then again, this comes down to reverse engineering the offer. At the end of 5 minutes, you usually will tell people, or 10-minute video, whatever. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, below this, I'll put a link to booking a call and talking to me more about how you can do this in your own business, in your own life, whatever the video says, whatever the problem that you solve. So if it's $1,000 worth of product or service, then you will just send people to an online class, an online workshop, or just a more in-depth tutorial about what you just talked in that video, maybe with slides now. So if in my case, for example, is 5 ways to get more customers, and if it's just me on video talking about it, I would just invite you to watch an online class with slides showing you the strategy behind it. And then at the end of it, if you pitch your $1,000 product, then you just pitch it at the end. If you invite people to talk to you over the phone to actually discuss more, then you invite them to book a call with you. And you just literally tell them. And below this video, you're going to see a link that says book a call to talk to me. It's a free 30-minute, 45-minute, 1-hour call, whatever you want to do, strategy call. And it's pretty much, that's what it is. And then on that application, you ask some strategic questions. Mainly, you want to know how people found out about you, if they ever invested in mentorship before. That's very important. And what's the value of the problem if you can solve that for them in the next 3 6 months, whatever you're selling. If you're selling a mentorship program that's 3 months, then you want to know before they jump with you on the phone, what's the value of that problem in their head? Because you may think, oh, my product is 2K. What if you solve a problem that it's only worth $300 for the customer? In that scenario, you may just need to come up with creative ways to improve that problem that you solve, right? And that's pretty much what it is. They book a call, then the moment that people get on the phone with you, now you build credibility because the moment that they search for something, you jump right in, so you know what you're doing. They watch that video and then they book a call and they answer all those questions for you. Now you have them almost like at this scenario, you would be like. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're still there. Keep going. You're doing great.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions just before we jump further. Oops, we're getting a little lag here, but we got one question from the live audience. And so going back to the video part, you said, when we start, we want to hook people right away, which is really critical in the first 3 to whatever seconds. And we don't want to bother with any kind of introduction or logo or tell people who we are. We want to jump right to the problem. The question was, do we want to tell people who we are at some point later on in the video?
Yeah. So, for example, almost like a script that I like to help my clients with all the time is you want to use the hook in the first 3 seconds, and then so for example, a perfect video would be in this video. I'm going to give you 5 tips that you can grow your business with live video, and then you're going to start going right in. So tip number 1, boom, boom, boom. Tip number 2, and then while you explain those things, you want to give almost like a case study in between where you introduce yourself as well. So for example, if you would say, so tip number 1 to use live video is making sure that it's always live. Don't use recorded video and stream live because people will know that that's not real. And by the way, I did this with my client, John, who's a health coach. And the way that I helped him was this. We actually put together a script for him. And during the live video, he talked to his audience directly. And that's what we do. And by the way, my name is Brad, and I work with clients, boom, boom, boom. So tip number 2, and then you move, like it's almost a natural thing that you don't, like if you use this kind of script, so hook people in, start with the first 1 or 2 tips, and during those, just embed one of your case studies. And while you embed one of your case studies, it comes natural to say who you are and what you do. So you kind of embed that case study, and then you just go with the flow. And during the case study introduction, you introduce yourself as well, lightly. Like don't just go way deeper into this, because as of now, people don't care yet about who you are. You just kind of, you plug it in. You're gonna have time to introduce yourself during the actual presentation when you invite people to the call. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. So second question is, now I've got this video and I think it's really cool. Am I turning this into an ad and running this in front of, as a preload in front of other videos on YouTube?
Correct. So this would be an unlisted video. So you don't post it on your channel, because if you do and you run in-stream ads, it's going to hurt the channel actually.
Okay.
Because what happens is, let's say you have a 5-minute video that it's listed on the channel, and then you run in-stream ads to it. If people click skip, that's going to affect a little bit your watch time, because people will drop in the first, there'll be people that don't want to watch it, so they'll hit skip. So that'll affect a little bit. So you upload the video on a YouTube channel, so you need a YouTube channel for this, but you upload it as unlisted, and then you create an actual in-stream ad directly from Google AdWords. And I hope we don't get too tech into this, because I know it's hard to visualize it if you don't share your screen. But essentially, you need a YouTube channel. It can be, you can start it from scratch. You don't need a YouTube channel full of videos, because people, this will go as an ad. But if you do have a channel, it's cool. You just upload the video as unlisted, and then you have to have a Google AdWords account, or you can just create one from scratch. You can go on YouTube and search how to create a Google ad. And you create the YouTube ad, a video ad, and you select in-stream, and then you bid on the keyword. So you can have a list of multiple keywords, key phrases that people are searching for, and you put that video in front of it.
Yeah, that's great. So I don't want to go too far into like how to do advertising on a platform like YouTube, but I just want to point out that my understanding of, and you can clarify this, is that the difference, like people know about doing Facebook ads, and they know about doing ads on Instagram, and they know about maybe doing ads on LinkedIn, and you can do video ads on YouTube. And my understanding of the difference between these platforms is that on YouTube, because it's part of Google, and because what's happening there is people actually go onto YouTube and are searching for a particular thing, like how do I get out of this pain that I'm in? And when they do, a video will come up, and it will be somebody's video, and you can literally have your video that's the solution to the problem there in front of the video that they were searching for. And this is where you're hitting someone in the moment where they're actually looking for the solution that they want and that you're helping to solve, as opposed to like on Facebook. You can put an ad on Facebook, but it's not search. So when it's in front of people, they're not necessarily there looking for help with anything. So it's much more random.
Yeah, 100%. So picture this. This is my cell phone. If I go on Facebook, like usually as consumers, I don't consider myself a consumer on Facebook because I don't really consume much content, but a regular consumer, you'll go and scroll and watch for different, pictures from their friends, or just, updates on all kinds of things. But I've never heard anybody going on Facebook to search for anything. Now, you could essentially say that I'm searching for a specific company or a specific influencer or a specific page. That's one thing, but usually that's interruption marketing. In YouTube, it's search. And this is like a huge difference, because imagine the way that people, like the state that they're in when they're on Facebook or Instagram and they're just scrolling through stuff versus, oh, I have a problem. How do I improve my credit score? How do I improve my credit score? And the first video that's ranked, you put your ad in front of it, and now people can actually watch that. It's like way more powerful. And not just that. Let's take another scenario. Let's assume you already identify 5 of your biggest competitors. So let's assume one of your competitors is Gary Vee, because I know he talks about live video a lot.
Sure.
And let's assume Gary Vee has a video on YouTube that has 1 million views about how to use live video. And you can actually select to put your ad in front of everybody that's watching that particular video. So you can go so much deeper into the process instead of, you can, of course, have different campaigns. One of them will be just targeting keywords and phrases. But another campaign can be just specifically one channel or specifically one video that has that topic and is just ranked because it has millions of views, or it's just, a personal brand like Gary Vee, or, another person that talks about live video in this scenario. But you can, another way that I explain to my clients is, let's make a list of 5 to 10 competitors and pick 10 competitors that have a significant audience on YouTube. And, you can also target their individual channels, individual videos on top of the keywords they're searching for. So that's why it's so much more powerful than interruption marketing.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to, now I've made my video, I've turned it into an ad, and I've got people watching, and they're actually taking my call to action, and now they're getting on a call with me, and I want to close with them. This is the final step.
Yeah.
So let's just go through that process and sort of take people to, like, okay, so how do I qualify people who are getting on the call? Do I make sure that they're actually a good fit and not a tire kicker or something like that?
100%. So on the application page, when I say application page, it can be your calendar link. Like if you use a platform, like a scheduling platform like Calendly, or Setmore, or Schedule One, so whatever, it doesn't matter which one. You should have the option to add questions. So you should have some qualification questions in there. One of the most important questions in there should be, have you ever worked with a mentor before solving this problem? If you did, did you have results, or like what was the main reason that you didn't get results? And then what's the value of the problem that I'm solving? So, for example, one of my questions on my application page is, how much is a customer worth to you in the next 12 months? Because I know that if I can share with you my strategies and you can implement and get at least a minimum, like in the worst case scenario, 2 to 3 clients a month in a matter of 1 year. If a customer is worth it to you $1,000, for example, it's a no-brainer for you and me to work together, because I know I can 10x your investment with me, right? So in that scenario, you want to have qualification questions on your form. And again, you can have your Calendly link embedded on a page if you want. Doesn't matter. We don't need to get techy now. Keep it as simple as possible and have those questions required. People have to answer those. Not totally fine. Need to work with everybody. You don't want to serve everybody, right? You just want to serve the ideal client that you want to work with. So that's the qualification basically. That page is the qualification itself. Now, the moment that people get on the call with you, and this is, I was talking to a client last night, and that was the first thing that I request pretty much every time when I work with somebody. You need to have a roadmap design, like an actual page that shows a roadmap of like how do you work with clients, so they can identify themselves, and you can share the screen with them during your strategy session, and they would identify themselves, not you. So you basically, based on the questions they said over that form, you basically repeat those answers, and you ask them, so where do you think on this map you are in this moment? So they would identify themselves, because if they would have been successful at that time, they wouldn't have booked a call with you, right? So they would identify themselves. So it's an easy, no pushy sell process, because you know that you have the answer to get them to where they want to be. So you're gonna have, let's say, a 9-step process or a 6-step process or whatever. I recommend 9, just so you can make almost like an S type of roadmap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just have like a visual thing. And people will say, all right, I'm right here at 4. All right, cool. I got the keys to get to the end. And it's no pushy, no, all kinds of weird scenarios during that call. And it's so much easier to enroll them, because at this point in time, they watched a video with you, they submitted the form. On that application form, they told you that the problem that you solve is worth it that much. They told you if they worked with a mentor before, what's stopping them to get there. Now it's just an easy way to, all right, this is what we have to offer. This is the offer. This is how many bonuses you get. This is how we work together. How soon you want to start?
Wow, that's great. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just do a quick review and see if I get all of these. So we're starting from the point of we're going to do some research and find one of the most searched problems out there in the marketplace that people are looking for that we can solve, that topic.
Correct.
And then we're going to make a short, punchy video on that topic, and we're going to turn it into an ad that helps to solve at least some of that problem. Then we're going to have a call to action, which gets people to go and schedule a call with us on our calendar. And then on that calendar, they have to answer a few questions, which are getting them to think about where they are in our 9-step process. And they go, well, let's see, I'm at number 3 and I have a long way to go. So that when we're on the call with them, we have something to talk about and we can show them how we can help them take the rest of those steps. Did I get it all?
So the actual roadmap, it's only going to be available for them during the call.
Okay.
But on the application form, they would answer those qualification questions, right? So basically, they'll say how much is worth it if you solve their problem, if they ever worked with a mentor before, and if they have not succeeded, why? Because if people will say, oh, my mentor was making me execute on some strategies, and I thought that they were wrong, well, they'll probably say the same thing about you. So at that point, if people answer, wrong answers to those questions, it's up to you if you still take the call. In this scenario, a lot of times you can have a lower end product. Like, for example, if your one-on-one thing costs 2K, you may have a do-it-yourself type of course for 500 to $1,000, because if people are actually telling you on that form that they can afford like a high-end type of thing, it's up to you. Do you have enough leads to talk to, and you're just not going to take the call and just send them to the course? Or you can take the call, but at least you know that they won't be able to afford that higher end package, and you have a lower end product. So it's up to you how you want to handle this, but the map itself, it's only going to be available for them during the call. You want them to identify that while they're talking to you, because at that point, they basically admit to you that they're not where they want to be.
Right. That's great. Yeah, that's great. And, that's really similar to what I do when I'm on a call with someone, is that I have my one-on-one program, and if they're not ready to step up to that level, I have a group course that is much easier for people to jump into. So, okay, well, this is fabulous. I mean, you've been dropping huge amount of value on this live today. So if someone wants to follow up with you and they're going, oh my gosh, this is perfect, I want to do exactly this system and I want your help to do it, how would they get a hold of you? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, if they can go to highendclientacquisition.com and download this entire blueprint that I just talked about, or simply they can just go to my website, marianesanu.com, and they can just book a call right there and just mention that they heard about this call, during the live interview with you.
Cool. Awesome. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to wrap it up because we're at the end of our half hour here. Thanks so much, Marian, for joining me today. And the rest of you guys, I will make sure to put all of this information and the links in the comments down below, so we'll be able to find it there, especially if you're here on the replay. And tune in next Wednesday at noon, where I will be going live again with a brand new guest. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. So long, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Brad.